Okay, I'm gonna go live.
Hey guys, Steve here, Ponics. Today we're going to talk about
growing with fishes. Growing with fishes.
All right, welcome everybody. Oh, I got the wrong camera on. There we go. Welcome everybody to the Growing with Fishes podcast. Episode, what are we up to? 314. Today we're going to talk about some of the stuff I'm doing in Thailand, and then talk about some of the stuff the panel's working on, because we're all kind of working on different cool stuff right now. But I figured I'd give you guys kind of a quick preview of some of the stuff going on. Depending on what's going on, I might even grab my Thai phone and try to stream from out there. I can't promise that'll work, but we can certainly try. But I did record some video this morning while I was out there doing my normal morning rounds, checking on everything to kind of show you what's going on and then what we're going to go do in the future. I think you guys will really find it interesting. It's very similar to what Josh does with the hybridization of both soil and kind of ponds, rather than doing just a straight aquaponic system. Pulling the water from the ponds that we're adding oxygen and fish food to, and then pulling that nice minerals off of that, kind of in a hybrid type situation. Again, I mean here, just to show you guys where I'm at, that's a rice field right outside my window. That's directly in front of me. You can see so it is extremely humid, and I'm also going to do some AIMO collection, so aquatic microorganisms from the rice fields, which I'm super excited to. And then we have an OMAX microscope coming, a triscope. We're actually going to put them under the microscope and actually do some live microbial collections from rice fields and show what microbes are in there, because I don't know if anyone's really done that before. And we often talk about aquatic indigenous microorganisms, so I'm super stoked on that because I have access to a ludicrous amount within feet from my house. So I'm super stoked on that. Anyways, we'll have a great episode for you guys today. Thanks everybody for watching. We have Wes Engine. How's it going, Wes?
Big up, Potent. Big up everybody out there. Hope everyone's living well.
We got Marty. How's it going, Marty?
Good. How's it going, guys? Good to see everybody.
And we got Josh. How's it going, Josh?
Hello. Stoked to be here. Nice to meet everybody. Nice to see everybody. Another night.
Me and Josh and Wes had a great show last night over on Dat Smoke Show. We check that out as well. We do that every Wednesday. A little more laid back than this show, and we have a lot of fun over there. So definitely check it out.
We got to get Marty on Dat Smoke Show and get him a little cognac or something to get him a little, tossed up. Or
well, I don't drink alcohol, but and I do plan on coming on there. But right now my wife is she's going to college, and so she has a class at the same time. So I got dad duties, but she won't be in class all the time. She'll have breaks, so I'll be able to join you when we can do that. So I do listen though quite a bit when I'm downstairs. I tune in, so good times.
We've had some really fun episodes. We had Breeder Steve on there. We've had tons of great knowledge from Brendan Rust on there. You never know who's going to pop on. We kind of invite everybody and see who shows up, and it's a good time. So definitely check it out. So I figured I'd tell you guys what I'm up to. I'm out here in Phetchabun. Actually, before that, be sure to check out our aquaponics class. Marty and I do have an aquaponics course that you can take on aquaponic cannabis. Throw this up on the screen here real quick. And you can take that over at apmgclass.com. We also have a full pest class at thepestclass.com as well if you're looking for living soil and aquaponic pest control methods. All right, let me pull up some videos here, but we have all kinds of cool stuff going on out here. So I'm actually going to be recording a bit later today, a bunch of stuff on IMO and IPMO. So it's almost like cheating to do IPMO out here. We can actually go out to the local market and buy kilos of crickets or grasshoppers or scorpions or centipedes because they eat them here as well. So I can buy them by the kilo rather than having to go collect them or get insect frass. I can literally just get local insects at the local market with no problem. That's
Do
already
they sell
pre-cooked.
them? Do they sell them fresh? Like, I mean, live for people to, or do they, are they,
Yeah, if I want to buy them, I don't know if they have them live, but I can get them uncooked, I guess is the word. they
Yeah, I
use.
need a bag of live scorpions. I gotta do something. with
I mean,
that.
I don't know what the fucking, you know what I mean? Like they bring it, remember the lobsters at the grocery stores?
So I have seen tarantulas and scorpions live, but I haven't seen the crickets or the centipedes live. But they eat them here pretty, you know, it's like a street food. But it's really easy to make the pest management stuff when you can just go buy a kilo of bugs, right? Like it saves a lot of effort and a lot of labor. That'll be cool. So we'll do some collections with that, and then kind of show how to make that pesticide. I was talking with Chris about that. I think he's going to post some of that stuff up as well. So that's going to be really fun to do. And then we're also going to do an IMO series. And then we're also going to do 2 versions of the video, one in English and one in Thai, because currently there are no good Korean natural farming videos in Thai that are properly translated. So we're going to do a whole video series on the different KNF inputs just in Thai. So that's going to be really cool too, to help the people here. And as part of the project, part of the reason why I was interested in working with these guys is because they're all about education and helping the regular farmer, not just the ganja farmer. So I'm really stoked on that, and I'm really excited to start working on that project today. That'll be, you know, the rest of my afternoon after this podcast. So that'll be a lot of fun. We actually have got all the wood to make the IMO boxes. We're going to start cutting that down as soon as we finish this, and then get the boxes together and then start cooking some rice. So, and we'll also take the rice wash. We'll do a traditional lactobacillus collection, as well as some kefir, and kind of show a couple of different variations on that as well. That'll be the next little bit. And then let me kind of show you guys some of the different things.
All right, so this is
sorry. Here we go. Let me share this here. Sorry for the 80 bajillion videos open. There's tabs open. Here's the nursery / clone room. We'll be adding another tier of lights above here, maybe even 2 tiers for clones. But for now, just got a bunch of seedlings and a bunch of different stuff that we're popping right now. So super excited. Got some root beer GMO. Super stoked on that. We got some Freak Show. We got some Soto Project. We got a bunch of good stuff. What else? Some Freak Show. I think I said that already. Critical Kush, Sour Diesel, Cherry Kandahar, Gas Mac V, Mac 2 from Brendan Rust. Got Pam. We got Pam 1. A bunch of other stuff. G13 hash. It's gonna be good. And then we have a bunch of Thai stuff. So this is all Thai stuff. This is all Thai stuff. This is all native Thai stuff. So do some larger scale pheno hunting on that. Yeah, pretty dope. So we have a nice clean room. We'll be adding a second rack here as well. So we'll have more. And then probably a shorter rack here in the front. And maybe one over here as well. But we have nice ventilation, all insulated and everything, dehumidified. So yeah, and humidified in case we need it. So yeah, pretty great. Nice little space.
out here in Thailand.
In the back here is fun.
All right, here's the nursery.
Oh,
Test
sorry.
clone room. We'll be at.
Not trying to loop here, guys. 1 second. Let me get the next one queued. I kind of screwed up queuing this all up, so I apologize. So if we need to test a couple lines, I'm going to run something. All right, so in the back here is the tester greenhouse. So if we need to test a couple lines, I'm going to run something, not have it in with everything else. Run some clones for sexing or something. A nice little small one. Nice white plastic, keeps it cooler in here. Keeps it clean, so we know if there's bugs in here or anything, you can see them easy. And this is just a fine mesh screen. You know, no need for plastic here. Just kind of keeps the majority of the bugs out. That's all you really need. Lets the air still blow through. There you go. All right, so in the back here is the tester greenhouse. So if we need to test So this is so for this is where they put the old soil. So they'll put the old soil on the plastic and then cover it with another piece of plastic and cook it so that if there's any bugs or anything bad in there, it'll kill, russet mites, broad mites, spider mites, anything like that that might be from the last one that went unnoticed. So this is some Thai brickweed. So this is like the cheap stuff you can get. This is like less than a cup of coffee for 2 of those, just to give you an idea. But you can get that pretty much anywhere, any of the little head shops and stuff. This is kind of what the outskirts of the cities looks like. Really, really beautiful. Really beautiful country. And then this is a food market in Bangkok. You can see anything you can imagine. There's just, and this goes for miles all the way down. And every so often there's a different building. One building ends, there's a street, another building begins, and it changes into like fish or pork or meat or vegetables or fruit or spices or each one's a different specialty. It's incredible. I've never seen anything like it. Here's some more from the vegetable market. Very, very amazing. Really, the smells alone were just astronomically amazing. Like it was like you went to heaven or something. It was just incredible, the amount of wonderful food smells. I've never smelled anything like it. And then look at the purples on these onions. I just that blew me away. The anthocyanin production on that was just incredible. And this is the other fun thing here in Thailand. You have these crazy tall trucks. This truck is like 2.5 times the height of it is long. You see stuff even bigger than this, and it's always really funny to see around Thailand. All right, here we go.
Can they get a moped or a scooter or something to get around?
We have a bunch of Thai stuff, and then this is some more Western style stuff. This is some do-si-do and royal caviar, these two. And these are a bunch of different Thai stuff that we're kind of hunting right now for pheno hunting. I don't care so much about the structure as I do the smell. And then we have these over here, which are some more Western stuff. So, yeah. Nice greenhouse, again, shade cloth. This is retractable on cables. Same as like a light dep. And then we have the light fans here to keep everything going. We're going to add some more. Obviously, they only have 3 right now. We're going to get some more in here. And then we have the exhaust fan to help us just get some airflow through here and pull some air through the walls and get us some more fresh air inside when it's a little bit warmer. It does get slightly warmer in here, but not much. The walls really do breathe well. And then we have some lights in here for keeping everything in veg at night. We just make the day longer and then use the sun, the same as we do for the flowering. You can kind of see how this is all set up. And they're on pallets just to get everything up off the ground. Keeps everything a little cooler. We'll be moving to some bigger pots. They have these nice, they're like laundry bin pots that they put cloth pots in. And it's the cloth fabric like you would for a cloth pot. And the soil in that. And this is a little cheaper than going with some of the other stuff. But we're going to actually replace all these with white pots because these black pots are getting very hot. Same thing with the bottom here. This is going to be replaced with white, just like you saw in the other greenhouses. So, sorry about the construction. I'll show you that in a minute. All right, so this. Yeah. So.
Hey, Steve, have you ever thought? I'm sure you've thought about it, but positive pressure, like reversing those fans. So instead of pulling, they're pushing.
Yep. Yeah, we definitely we're going to put fans on both ends long term, but right now we're just trying to get everything stabilized with what we have access to short term. It can take a while to get goods in or out of Bangkok, so
No, I just saw that. My first thought was like, oh, when you turn that on, it's going to obviously suck the air from right around the fan because it's all mesh. It's not like pulling from one end across the greenhouse. Yeah. So that's why I was just like, oh, what if you flip the fan around and blew it in? You'd get a better circulation, right?
What we have on order and what's coming is we're on the opposite end. We're going to have a fan, and then like the tube socks that you have above your center of your stuff that distribute the air. We're going to run that through the greenhouse because that's going to make way more sense to bring in that fresh air to the core of the greenhouse is going to be much more efficient and cheaper. So we'll have that, and then we'll have an exhaust fan just to dump the air out of there for temperature control. So then that's going to make way more sense, long term. So yeah, that's already on order, and part of the first things that we addressed when we got here.
Yeah, so I don't mean to try to tell you your business. I'm just fucking, I like the tech part of it.
I'm glad you asked the question, because it's something that people aren't aware of. They don't understand the importance of bringing fresh air in deep into the greenhouse, and it's something that, hey, I'm sure a bunch of the listeners were not aware that how important it would be for something like that. So I think it's a great question. And
well,
something great
even
to
in
bring
like
up.
a greenhouse like mine, there was, when I first got it in the summers, when it would get hot, I would roll up the sides a little bit, and it's designed that way. But you realize that with the second you do that, you're just like only pulling air in from the back third or whatever of the greenhouse. You're not fucking circulating through the whole thing. So like, I have better growth by actually letting it be a little hotter, closing it down, and bringing it, getting a better exchange.
And if I reply in Italian, the guys I work with and live with here speak mainly Italian. So, and Italian is very similar to Spanish, so it's much easier for me mentally to absorb than the Thai, which is basically like an alien language to me. So yeah, so I'm learning Italian at like 10 times the rate that I am Thai. So if I reply back, I don't get the chance to speak much regular English. So it's always some kind of hybrid, Italiano, Inglés, whatever. So I apologize if my language is a little bit funky. Let me see here if any of the next videos finished uploading. I want to show you guys the other two greenhouses. We'll be building more as well. So why is this taking a minute to upload? Oh, it's going. It's just taking its sweet time. We'll have that available shortly. But basically, we have two more greenhouses that are bigger than the one that I showed you there, that are longer, that we'll have for main production. And then we'll be adding group bays of those 2 at a time, going in the back. We'll have about 20 more of those that are bigger than the one that I showed you. So we'll have a lot of production. We also have an indoor building that'll have 3 floors. We'll have rooms for drying, rooms for eating, and then we'll have a lab. We'll have HPLC and DNA testing and all that stuff, so we can figure out, oh, it has this much THC, this much CBD, this much terpenes, and we can pheno hunt stuff much easier and figure out stuff longer term. So really stoked on all that stuff, and it's nice to have access to all those kinds of tools when you're working on trying to figure out what's going to be best long term for larger scale production. It gives you a lot more insight into what it is that you're growing. It's extremely humid though. This is the most humid place I've ever lived, by a long shot. So I will say that if something hates humidity, it's not going to grow here. Period. Forget it.
Is that challenging for you personally, or you good with it?
Oh, no. Nothing here bothers me. I mean, I'm a little bit concerned because there's a broadmite relative here that's extremely small. I'm talking like 50% bigger than a trichome head. It's smaller than any russet. It's like the leg of a russet. I'm not joking. It's the tiniest insect I've ever seen in my life. Or obviously it's not insect, it's arachnid, but still, smallest thing I've ever seen in a plant by a long shot. So that's something where, hey, I know we can knock that back with a mineral oil or something organically, no problem, but I haven't seen something that small before. So that's I guess the only new challenge that we have here. But mold and all that, no. As long as I'm applying my liquid IMO, my labs on a good regular basis, not a problem. Like none of that scares me in the least. There'll be cultivars that are just not going to do well here, right? But it doesn't mean that I can't pull them off and still get them to harvest. It just means they're not going to thrive, which is the biggest difference.
What's the focus of the business model? Like, what are you guys making? Flour, concentrates, all the above, or what are you doing?
It's a good question. So concentrates aren't currently legal yet in Thailand. They're still working on that legislation. So currently we can only legally produce clones or flour. So we'll be focusing mainly on flour with some long-term production on seeds and clones, but mainly focused on flour production for sale into some of the stores that we have partnerships with already. And then just producing high quality, regenerative style, organic, higher tier cannabis. They're not really focused on chemical production. They have no interest in any of that stuff. Again, another reason why I was interested in this project is, their heart's in the right place when it comes to growing the right way and producing high quality craft product. But trying to scale that up in a way that makes sense is fun and challenging, and gives us some new ways to think about. But if we can make it work here in a pretty extreme environment, I think we can make it work in other places that are less challenging as well. Also, just fun to bring KNF to this part of the world as well. It was super cool to do that in Zimbabwe, really cool to do that here, and to create video content that's translated into a whole new language. So, a nation that has not been exposed to this type of stuff, where it works really well with what they have going on here, and they have access to a huge amount of the resources for extremely low cost. So, it just makes a lot of sense, and it's really, really exciting to do that. Also going to be working on an IPMO series as well in English. So if you guys have been waiting on that, it's coming very soon, the next couple of weeks. I just went along enough for us to apply it and then to show you guys how it affected the insects. So give me like 2 or 3 weeks to finish doing the editing on all that. A lot of people have asked for a specific video on that. So I'm going to be doing a whole KNF video series out here, live on the farm. It's going to be good. If you guys in chat have any questions about Thailand, I'd love to answer them. It's pretty wild here. I've not seen, it's even more open than Oklahoma, but at the same time, there's no hash or dab pens or.
Is there any, do they expect to do that? Is that on the bit,
Yeah, they're working on it. They kind of, a couple of weeks ago, they had a big vote about some of the regulations, and they decided not to pass it, which was a bit of a setback, but it's coming. Like, it's not a big deal. It just is going to take a little longer maybe than how quickly everyone thought it would. But you know what? Isn't that literally what all of us have gone through with all the cannabis industry? Everything takes longer than it should, or it is supposed to. Like, I can't think of a single thing that's ever gone off on time, regardless of planning and financial situations. So it's part of the industry, it is what it is.
So is it just flower that's legal, or?
Yes. Yep. Flower, seeds, and clones. You can move. Edibles currently aren't legal, but you can often find them pretty easily. Even in legal dispensaries, they're pretty sold in the open without anyone really giving them a problem. You do not see bubble hash or rosin or BHO. All that is, very much can get you in trouble if they find it. So.
Yeah, I mean that's unfortunate, but hey, I mean,
right, we have
a roll joint, right? Josh would be fine.
We have 3 sets of bubble bags and a rosin press, so I'm not suffering, put it that way.
No, nobody thought you were, Steve. Nobody thought you were.
Yeah, he's got it easiest. Like, he may have it hard with the dreads, but the dreads also pack the power. He's probably got like 2 or 3 ounces hidden in those motherfuckers and just hash alone.
As in, don't even get started on the seeds, man. There's probably some you don't even know what they are.
Yeah, he forgot. He's like, I forgot.
It's like before he leaves the grow, he just like shakes some out. Like, here you go, guys. Good luck.
Unnamed vials popping out.
It's like wine vintages, I did manage to find some charas though, which I'm beyond fucking stoked on. So that was pretty great. Which when you're in the right part of the world, you're in the right part of the world. Especially if you have long dreads, you can find it eventually.
It's just so weird for a country that like has such a history with hash, like goes back a long time, right?
Oh yeah, and not only that, but just the openness. Like, I got off the plane and they're like, "Are you hungry?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Okay, we'll go to the night market." And people selling nitrous blooms and selling like anything you could imagine, like mushrooms and joints and pre-rolls and ounces and grams, and just on like a table, like popping up a table, dropping it in the middle of the street.
But no like old school hash. I mean,
yeah.
Disappointing.
Anything you can think of. Not so much hash though. No hash in the open. I didn't see any of that yet. I've only seen hash or dabs like when you go hang out with somebody, or when we're like away from prying eyes, I guess is probably the best way to put it. That's when you'll find it. It's around, but you're not gonna see it open. It's not really safe. But other than that, it's just been pretty gnarly. Like managed to find a nice multi-percolator bong and everything, and some bangers and stuff. So no big deal. And then we had our awesome Thai brickweed. All right. Everyone keeps telling me to take the seeds. Look how white these seeds are, man. You don't want these seeds. I'll get if people are begging for Thai stuff, we'll find much better stuff. This is not.
Yeah,
what
I
you
was
want.
gonna say,
This is
like,
not-
it's not even more shipping. You probably like, I'd be surprised if one seed out of there sprouted. Those look pretty.
No. But we're gonna go on a tour. We have a couple places we're gonna go visit some family members of the people we work with and see some
Right, yeah.
up in the hills, real stuff. That's where I want to get my seeds from, right? Like right before harvest. I don't want to get it from some swag bag. Like you don't want those seeds, man. And I've had I had like 50 people hit me up for the seeds in this picture, and I'm just like, yo, no, like I'll get you something better. It's fine. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
I mean, it's not any different here, right? Like you should, like ideally you shouldn't be growing seeds you just find in a swag bag in Oklahoma either. You know what I mean? Like it's, just start with some good genetics, whether they're clones that somebody else has already grown out or known seeds, like especially if you're just starting out, you could be shooting yourself in the foot like real quick. Personally.
Oh, yeah. Other than that, it's been pretty easy to get most of the biological controls with Rea Bassiana. The only one I can't get is Iceria fumiceracea. It's been the only one that's been a bit of a pickle to find. All the others that I'm used to having have been pretty readily available in some type of form. So that was a refreshing surprise for sure, because it was a big concern. But yeah, if anybody in chat has any questions about Thailand, let me know. Oh, I know what you guys are going to want to see, because I posted this earlier on Insta. So shout out to the Oki homies. Your shit's all over Thailand. Where is it? Hold on a sec. I'll find it. Tabel Nech. Anyways, pull up my Instagram. Okay. Yeah, it's been pretty wild. I actually found quite a bit of Oklahoma weed in downtown Bangkok, and a lot of California weed too in Bangkok. There we go. I got it pulled open now. Sorry guys, took me a minute. Still getting used to everything here. There you go. Some Oklahoma weed in Bangkok. I took those pictures. Marina Bay, Lemon OG, Super Silver Haze, White Widow. There you go. In Bangkok.
Can't believe they go to all that trouble of counterfeiting it all the way around the world. That's quite strange, but I understand.
Yeah. Clearly. Clearly these weren't a result of Metric's immense failure, right?
Obviously not. Why would they?
I think it's more a shining example how much of a fail Metric is than anything else. Literally, exact
People gotta
opposite.
eat.
12-hour time zones over. It's just the opposite side of the planet. They got your weed. So
That's pretty awesome.
so someone asks, so what kind of fish do we grow here? So we have tilapia. We also have snakeheads. We have like a pangasius catfish. Those are probably the three that are grown the most. And then there's also we have betas like in the field next to us. Like if you go around for a while with a net, I can find wild betas like feet from my house, which is kind of cool.
That's really cool.
Or aquarium person from the US, they're everywhere. So that was kind of neat. They're not colorful like the ones that you got. They have some color on them, but nothing like the Western ones.
Well, because it's probably mostly males, right? They aren't the males the non-colorful one, or vice versa, right? I can't remember.
The females have less color, but at the same time, the wild they're very highly selectively bred, like goldfish, right? So the wild ones only have a couple areas of color versus the all color.
are they as aggressive? Like, are they just fighting, and shit? Or is it, I mean,
So like you know how like in like Mexico or Jamaica, you can go to cockfighting. They do that with the fish here. So they'll have like fighting betas, beta embellus, which is a different species than the one you see in the pet stores in the US. You can find them once in a while in the US, but they're a shorter fin species. They'll take them and they'll bet on them. So they'll put them in like a big, like 8-gallon bowl with dudes all around, like a high up on like a thing with like a camera on it with the TVs around and all, and they'll bet on it like a cockfight until one of them is clearly like lost, and then they'll take them out, nurse them back to health, and fight them again.
wild.
Yeah. Plus, it's a cheaper thing, right? Like anybody out here can do that, right? Any rice farmer can throw down on a Saturday night, and you know what I mean. It's like drag racing, right? If anybody has a fast car, they can bring it to the show. So it's something that even it doesn't matter how rich you are, like you can throw down on Saturday night and have find a beta in your field, right? Like it's something that doesn't have like a price gap or anything as much as other sports. What else do we have? Is Oakley weed or just labeled Oakley? It really is Oakley weed. It's the same exact branding as a company that I'm aware of in Oklahoma. I'm not going to out them, but it's the same shit when it's being diverted over here. Now, whether or not they're aware of it is a whole other story, but it's certainly a lot of US weed here in Bangkok in particular is finding its way through the port. I'll leave it at that. How the tables have turned since the 60s. Is it all indoor aquaponic or are you outside too? So most of our stuff will be in the greenhouses, but we will have some outdoor later on, but that's a different property, and I'll get to video of that later on when we get there, or we get to that stuff. Cooking out soil, the plastic you're showing us, does it cook out diseases? Yes, it will. It'll cook out all that stuff. Plus, we're also applying liquid IMO afterwards, right? So we're heating it up, and as soon as it cools down, we put beneficial nematodes, and then we put in the liquid IMO and even some regular, IMO 4 to keep that healthy and all that stuff. So we're not going to have to worry about septoria or botrytis or fusarium, any of that crap. I have seen botrytis out here, but that's the only disease that I've seen. I've seen spider mites and those miniature broad mites. We visited a couple other farms while we've been bouncing around out here talking to people, just trying to learn what's going on, learn what we need to be up against and all that stuff. It's always good to visit other people and kind of see what challenges they're running into. I have a little microscope that's not in here, but I can bring it with me. It's like a dino light. I can attach it to my phone. So I have my tablet. Whenever we travel, I'll take it and I can scout plants and all and see what's going on. So it's helping me a lot figure out what we need to do as far as a game plan, and keeping everything sorted. So that's been a lot of fun, and just sourcing resources, trying to find potassium silicate in this country seems to be all but impossible. But everything else seems to be pretty readily available. I'm trying to think of anything else that's been a challenge, mainly just potassium silicate. A little bit on mineral oil, a replacement for Sulf Oil X. But then that's been the main thing. We did find one. It just took a little while. And again, for dipping clones and all that, you got to have that stuff to make sure everything's clean. Am I going to start breeding betas? Maybe. We'll see. I got to worry about getting everything else sorted first, and then I'll worry about having hobbies and all that happy horse shit. If I get any free time, I'm probably going to go to one of the markets and hang out.
Sorry, I'm like half listening. I was editing a thing real quick, but are you in your what's your filtration going to be like? So you're using the pond water with beta and all sorts of amphibious, natural shit. What's your filter going to be like?
We just have a screen filter that collects particles of it. We're not really filtering for microbials or anything. We're adding lactobacillus and liquid IMO into the. But you're not going to run it through some rocks or anything to no. You're okay with we did water tests and soil tests here, so we're not high in arsenic. We're not high in we don't have any pathogens. There's no pesticide residue, so it's like.
I guess. Worry about. Well, what about this? In my mind, when we're running it through, when we're running like a flood and drain system. So let's say you set up yourself a big media bed that you're going to run this pond water through. I believe that you'll get more microbial interaction in that media bed than you are in that pond through the up and down action, right? So like in my mind, that's a benefit. And then you collect the water on the back end of it, and you have more microbial population and more nutrient diversity, right? Than you would just with the lower flowing pond water.
So we're just taking the water for irrigation. So we're kind of doing it more like we're not circulating it back to the ponds. We will later on with the new greenhouses, but these first couple we're just kind of adapting to what they have and making it work, and then we'll get fancy later. So yeah, the next couple we're circulating, but these ones are just single, pumping from there, amending it a little bit before we send it out, adding microbes in that mixed tank. So we have a pre-mixed tank that's 3,000 liters or 4,000 liters. So we pump up from the pond. We test this to know what the nitrogen level is, and then we adjust off of that, and then feed it as needed. Or we'll fill it up halfway and bring in groundwater for the rest to dilute the nitrogen. If it's in flower, I don't want high nitrogen, right? So we're going to dilute that down and go about it that way. Also allows Demented, hey, if I need to boost potassium, I can add a little potassium to it, or whatever I need to add. We'll also be working on different ferments too. So testing that out. A lot of the stuff that Confem was working on, we're going to be getting one of the HANA testers, the same one he was using, so we can start testing broad spectrum stuff like that as well. So super stoked on testing more tropical inputs, trying to further refine a lot of that work that he started. So that'll be a lot of fun. Other than that, trying to think. I haven't seen any crazy insects yet. We do have monocle cobras, and we have 2 different species of green pit vipers here, and a couple of other venomous snakes, but mostly those 3 that we have to worry about. We do have crates and some other stuff, but they're generally a lot less aggressive than the first 3 I just mentioned. So always having to look at, when you lean in towards a plant, looking up before you lean forward, so you don't get bit in the face, and then just having the dogs run out into the grove before you do, so that they can bark at whatever is there before you find it, is very important. Very similar to Zimbabwe. There's lots of things that can kill you in terms of the thing if you're not paying attention. So. We're near Pechabun. I won't say the exact town name, but we're not far from there. So that'll be fun.
What's the best food you've encountered over there so far?
That's a good question. In restaurants and stuff. In fact, we had a really good thing last night where we had these like little ribs that were like short ribs that were with like you take the garlic and like slice it really thin, and then like cook it and like bake it, and then they added like little crisps on it, and that was amazing. It was some kind of, I don't know what the sauce was on it, but it was just, it's almost like hot wings, but that was really good.
Hot wing ribs, that sounds delicious.
And then they've made a bunch of really good Thai food and stuff here at the house that I have no idea what it was. It just tasted good, so I eat it. Trying to think of anything else that was really just like amazeballs. We had some good mushrooms and fish the other night in town. That was really good too. The rig on pretty much, lots of mushrooms, lots of vegetables, lots of fruit. Also nice to get sweet sop. I can get sweet sop and sour sop here pretty much year round. So I'm pretty
jealous.
I've had like at least 2 to 3 sweet sops every day.
Does it taste different over there?
No, very similar to the Jamaican stuff. The sweet sop here is like they have green ones and purple ones, and the purple ones I've never seen in Jamaica or the Caribbean. Maybe they haven't gotten there. No. They have like red and purple ones, which have more like extra flavor to them. But other than that, that's the only thing I've seen that's different. Trying to think. No, jungle sop.
I'm not sure.
In Jamaica,
maybe,
they have
maybe by a different name.
And jungle sop, which are big.
No, we don't have the big ones. No.
Yeah, they don't have those here. I haven't seen any. Lots of tapioca and cassava. Trying to think of anything else that's different. It's like the Caribbean. You buy a bottle of booze and a bottle of Coke and you mix it with a glass of ice rather than buying a mixed drink. And that maybe another example of something else maybe different than the US. They're big on, what's it called? The butt sprayers.
Oh, bidets.
Yeah, they have bidets everywhere instead of toilet paper. So that takes a minute to get used to. What else?
Pleasurable minute.
Other than that, just getting the dogs here used to me. I'm kind of the big scary guy, so took a minute to win the dogs over. And then just trying to source genetics. We went to a couple stores to get genetics, and a lot of it was boof. So, or I look at it, they're very obviously like fucked up seeds, and I'm just like, no. We brought some stuff, and we have some other stuff that they have here that's traditional, but still got to get more. In the beginning, when you're doing a really large operation, you just want to get a bunch of different stuff and hunt out everything, see what does well here in the climate, because not everything's going to like it here. 30% of it's going to hate it here, so it is what it is. And also heat tolerant stuff. Not everything's used to high heat. You're not going to get the bright purples you do usually, or the dark blacks, and things like you get just too hot. Most of the days here, the night is 66 to 68, and then the daytime is like 88. That's
hot.
Much close to the year. So, and then part of the year is humid, part of the year it's drier. That's about it.
Sounds awesome, man. Sounds awesome. Sounds a little bit hot in the day. I mean, the night temperature, you just got to have a fan on in the room, basically. But
it's basically like Jamaican summertime all the time here.
Yeah.
Or
Sounds
anywhere in the Caribbean.
Sounds about right, man.
What else do we have? Gonna start breeding betas? No, I just don't have time. How many hours of light do you have? So the natural hours of light are like 6 hours to 6.5 hours. I'm sorry, 12 hours to 12.5 hours. And that's it. We're really close to the equator here. We're about in the center of the country. So further south in Thailand actually is directly under the equator. So we're very, very close. So pretty close to 12. That's why with the greenhouses, we just have the lights on for 4 or 5 hours, 6 hours, whatever, just to make the day longer at the end of the day. But after that, we just shut the lights off and they're fine. For the regular, we don't need depth because they're always at 12. So we just put them out in the regular greenhouse and they're fine. So there's no reason to worry about it. And then a half an hour difference when you're already running them at 16 hours, it's not going to make a difference. Those plants are going to trigger real hard as soon as they have that 6 hour difference,
Yep.
Or 4 hour difference, whatever.
Absolutely.
What other questions do you guys have for Thailand? And if you guys don't have any or need a minute, what are you guys up to in your garden? What are you up to, Josh? I know you've been working real hard.
I planted a bunch of seedlings today. I'm currently on editing my website as we're talking, adding an event that I've got booked and I'm excited about. I'd mentioned it last night, but I got confirmation from everybody today. So it's the event is a gender reveal party in Garberville, California, at the same spot, same bat time, same bat place that I've kind of been posting up at for the last 4 or 5 years, at the Richardson Grove campground. Used to be RV park. It's now RV park and campground. And in Garberville, right across from the One Log Cookies facility. And so it's going to be a 2-day event. It's going to be January 28th and 29th. On Saturday is going to be a full day of learning how to test plants for their sex, male or female, so that you can take a leaf tissue sample, and run it through a test and determine whether it is male or female. Whoa, he's got some nugs, some real nugs, which is a big benefit to all of us, whether you be a home grower, This may or may not be the thing for you. You probably need to be a really extreme hobbyist to really justify the cost, because it is a $500 ticket. And then there's an additional cost of equipment that's going to be about $900. So it's extreme hobbyists, more realistically, the professional grower or breeder. If I can, for me, as I'm opening up, 500, 1,000 or more seeds at a time, if I can determine the sex quickly by doing a tissue sample and put all the males in their respective places, and all the females, especially since I run living soil, because it really, otherwise, like, I end up having playing all sorts of fuckery, straight up, like planting a bunch of seedlings in beds, and then I have to clone the males and be really fucking hot and quick on it, and like collect the pollen off the plants as they're cloning. Like, it's just a bunch of bullshit, versus some of those guys that are in pots, that might be a little bit easier just to pull the males and throw them in a different room. But if you're a big commercial farmer, to not even waste the space and to be able to run seeds and get hybrid vigor from that taproot is pretty fucking incredible. And to not have to waste the time on running the males, and because it really is a 6-week process at least to where you can get a sex determined, and that's, you have to get them into a 4-inch or a 6-inch or more, depending on what you're doing, and all that space and everything. And when you're at home, it may not feel as much of a burden, but like I said, if you're running 1,000 plants, that's a lot. It ends up being an amount of space. If it's running 2,000, 10,000, 20,000, then it really matters. And so this is not a new concept. It's just kind of the information has been kept under lock and key pretty tightly. And I periodically, I'll kind of Google the interwebs with my weak ass Googling skills and try to see if I can find, how to do this, or someone that's popped up on YouTube to teach. And I haven't seen that. So I reached out to a homie that does this, and he teaches this on the regular. This is, for his job, he teaches tissue culture, and this is part of it. And, if you were going to take the course from him solo, it would be an $1,800 course, but he can come and do it to a bunch of us and reduce the cost. And anyways, just the other little info in there is that, like, if you were to pay for this, it's $10 a test, meaning $10 a plant, so I couldn't really justify that or afford it. Maybe those numbers would make some sense if I had the money, but for me, I'm just like, fuck, I don't have that money, so I have to find the space and make that fucking shit happen. And if I can pay $500 for the ticket and come do this event and have a great time, and then buy $900, $1,000 with equipment, like, done. It's a no-brainer to me. I'm signed up, and there's only 50 spots for this, so the ticket will be published within an hour or so on my website, Regenerative Seeds. No, it's not with him. It's with another dude. I'll publish it later. I'll publish his information later. But yeah, he's a reputable dude, and he's been teaching a ton of stuff, and I've been following him for a while. We've had a couple phone calls throughout the last year on tissue culture, and then day 2, Sunday, will be sort of a nursery workshop or genetic workshop with myself, Kevin Jodry, and Mean Gene from Mendocino. And so it'll be a little bit different than the way the Regens conference has been, where it's kind of like a talk at you thing. It'll still be a little bit of that, but it'll be more like practical skills. Like, how do you get prepped for the year? Techniques and things that Gene does as a breeder, things that you want to do as stocking up and getting the nursery, just like practical stuff. So, and then we'll have a seed swap, and we'll open that up to the local community, so we can have a bunch of people there and have a good time, and maybe throw a big dinner and have a big fun time. So, like I said, there's only 50 tickets available. I expect that they all sell out really quickly. I'm excited about this. I think it's cool.
Yeah, I know there's not a lot of events. A lot of those events have kind of gone away, I guess, under COVID. So nice to see some new stuff going on, or have failed because of COVID, one or the other.
Yeah, I mean, there's stuff. Yeah, I think this is, the Garberville event. We did it last year. It's a classic place to be.
Great last year. The fucking Bob Hemphill's putt crosses. Holy shit. That was probably the best weed I've ever smoked in my life last year.
Bob will definitely be making an appearance, I'm sure. I can't guarantee it, but he always does. So actually have a drop of his coming that should be here maybe tomorrow or the next day. So
Nice.
a haze drop. So keep the eye out on that. So that'll be cool.
Nice. I'm also stoked too. We'll have an HPLC and everything here to test cannabinoids and terpenes for people. So I'm super stoked long term to like try and work with some breeders that are interested in trying to test their stuff in tropical climates and see what it tests out to and all that. So I'm super excited on that because I actually have a lab to evaluate things properly rather than sending everything off will be really great.
Yeah, super cool.
What anything that you're excited about this next over the winter or next coming spring that you're stoked on breeding wise or pop wise?
Yeah, I mean, I got a lot going on today. I was planting a bunch of Mean Gene stuff. It's special indica. It's OG Ghost OG cross special indica was most of it. That was the male used for most of it. So there's a back cross under the special indica. There was a dog walker. There was a grape lime skunk, lime one cross, lime pop kush. Some really cool stuff. So I planted, maybe 6-7 varieties of that sort of things to test for him. So I'm excited about that, and I'm hoping to find some good clones that I can put out, as nursery stock for folks. And then tomorrow morning I'll be back at it, filling the greenhouse up with more of my stuff. So I took the stuff from Bob Hemphill, the Puck hash plant BX2. I increased it, so I want to look at the 3s. I really just want to have them as, to me, it's a tool to breed into. And so I increased the seeds just to have them so that I can throw at anything, type thing, because I know what it's going to do. I got to go over to his house and smoke that shit and smoke all the outcrosses they did and walk through. Him and Hannah walk me through, what it was throwing. It's like it consistently did the same thing. It throws girth and potency, and I think it's going to have good hash yields too. So I'm really excited about it. And so I have a couple crosses. I put the dog liquor on it. I have also planted the he did hit that to the red Lebanese. It was really fucking delicious. It's when I hit it at his house, I remember telling him that I feel like that was like there's some red labs one way or the other in Skittles. Like the fucking pheno he gave me to smoke was really fucking delicious and really in that vein. And so I did the same thing. I just wanted to increase the seeds so that I had them to fuck with. It was kind of like I've done a bunch of projects this year that were like of no real direct value financially, but just like building some tools. And so that was one of them, but I actually fucked it up a little bit and got spider mites in the garden pretty severely. And it was about the time I was doing the melting of the heads, and I was just so busy with everything that I just like opened the door, looked at it, closed the door, and walked away for like 4 weeks, literally. I know, because I also got COVID, and my rooms are all auto. They're soil beds. I don't need to water them; they just fucking run. And so I got COVID and wasn't even on my farm, and came back and just like opened it up, and it was just like, you just want to start dry heaving and vomiting. Like it was disgusting. Yeah, blue mats in there for sure. There were so many spider mites, and it was just like, oh God, what the fuck, dude? Just like really disgusting. And but there was 2 plants in there that didn't have any spider mites on them. And so that was like, oh, okay, well, it looks like you just fucking did a spider mite test, bro. Like you just were like intentionally breeding spider mite resistant plants, motherfucker.
Brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant.
That's what you had in mind the whole time. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. I should have told the story differently. Next time I will.
So I was working on the spider mite resistance program.
Yeah, so I was
You'd be
working on
amazed
this-
how many I had to throw away. I mean, absolute
Yeah.
garbage, just covered in spider mites, but there were 2. And that's
Came
what
up-
we started with.
Came up with the
I-
perfect
I
protocol.
I planned a whole hash event in order to bring the spider mites in.
I had people bring spider mites from all over the country.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah, out of my little fuck up, I
That's all
called all
spider
that-
mites matter.
Yeah. that I don't even know about that joke being funny at all, actually. I don't even know. But yeah, so I did the 2 plants. I have an A and B, and I planted those today to test out about 70 of each of those. You know, just to fucking look at them, you know, and maybe I'll put some pollen on them or something. I don't know. I don't really know. I'm trying to look at a bunch of shit right now. And I got, yeah, like I said, the dog liquor, the red labs, the puck liquors. I'm digging back into some older stuff I made that's exciting. Gary Payton with the skunk band male on
You
it.
should those ones that are spider mite resistant.
I already they were seeded, so I hit them. They were open pollinated with the males, and they were already seeded. So the
I see.
seeds.
Okay.
I didn't complete the story. Sorry. I had open pollinated the pack, and then when I saw all the spider mites, I culled all them and threw away those females with the seeds, and kept the seeds from the 2 that were resistant, and then that was A and B, and so now I'm going to look at A and B and kind of be able to get a better look at the difference of those. And
Nice.
who knows, you know what I mean? Because like the males that I open pollinated into, they're not all going to have that resistance in, you know what I mean? So it will
show up. It'll show
Yeah.
up again though.
Yeah.
You should find some fair frequency.
Yeah, and so actually maybe that's something I should dig into and be like, get some spider mites and put them in a room and fuck with it a little bit. You know, that's not a bad idea, because now I know that's in the genes. You know, I can isolate it easily. You know.
Yeah.
Anyone wanting to replicate his amazing test here, you can buy spider mites under the brand name Strawberry Starts at your local garden center.
Everywhere.
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 Seriously, it's like 90% of the strawberry starts in the market have spider mites. I'm not joking. Like it was the #1 problem whenever we do display setups and stuff for aquaponic source. We'd buy, you know, especially if we're coming in from out of town, we'd ship the system there, right? And we'd fill it up with water, go grab some goldfish from a local store, power cycle it, you know, in a day or 2 for the weekend for whatever we're doing. Then we'd go grab some nursery plants. Every time the strawberries would have spider mites, 100% of the time. It was just very frustrating. So I very much treat, if you ever get strawberry starts and you have a home garden, treat them the way you would take clones from your cannabis, right? So get some Sulfoil X or mineral oil, Monterey mineral oil, or whatever your mineral oil of choice is that you're going to use. Put, you know, half a shot glass per 4 gallons or 3.5 to 4 gallons in a bucket. Put your clones, or in this case, strawberry starts, in the water, fully submerge them, and then take them out and then put them into your garden. That's going to keep you from bringing those in or those eggs in.
Or
if you don't,
dip
you'll
the
get
whole
spider.
motherfucker in bleach solution. That's where I'm at these days. Fuck it all. Dip in a 10% bleach solution.
Also, I'm glad you mentioned that. Anyone that's been traditionally using rubbing alcohol for your scissors between plants, stop doing that. Use bleach. We found the HPLV actually will go faster with alcohol and transfer easier with alcohol soaking than chloride.
Bleach is the only thing. Bleach.
Yeah. No, it's true though. Seriously, it used to be, hey, we thought everything would die from alcohol. We were wrong. It seems to survive in that. So be sure that you're using bleach instead. If not, you will spill HPLV through your stuff. What have you been up to, Wes? What are you growing? How's your garden?
My garden, let's see, my flower room is shut down right now. She's closed right down. Just like Josh, I had spider mites, but I detected them early and I used the bug lady and got a oversized drop of bugs. Those whirligigs, I can't remember the scientific name for them. They ended up working the crazy mites. They ended up working out really well for me. They really
for
kept
spider mites, persimilis.
well, I had Persimmilus and hold on, let me I should just look it up. I hit him with three different types. I hit him with
Long pipes, Californicus,
no, it started with an A one for the A.
Andersoni.
Yeah. And then Swirsky's and and then these crazy mites, which are they're new on the market. I used to get Stratiolaelis instead. Yeah, those ones. Those things are incredible. They they are fast, they are hunters, and they really kept them at bay. I mean, they actually decreased the populations of spider mice, just decreased. And I made it through flower with, and I'd say those guys are responsible because they really seem to work.
Those are new to me.
The caveat I want to mention is these are only legal currently in Canada. They are not legal in the United States. So if you're watching this and you're in Canada, you're in luck. They have not been approved yet by the USDA for use in the US. They are under review right now, but they're not currently available in the United States.
It's like they're aphid fuckers.
That's so weird that Canada has it before you guys. We must have them here naturally or something.
Yeah, that or they're a tropical species that has no chance of escaping in cold.
Right.
But yeah, they Anistis bacarium mites. There you go. Whirligig mites. But yeah, they're badass. They're great if you're in Canada, for sure.
Yeah.
But not available at all in the United States currently. Well, awesome.
10 to 1 bleach, or you can go up to 20% too. But someone was saying to torch the scissors, but that doesn't work for the HLPV. It's got to be the bleach. Bleach is the thing. Like I was listening to some doctor that studied these different viroids, and it's all that was all the research. It was just like, don't fuck around, and it's just so dumb. I just feel like, and this last week I've been using bleach solution a lot. I've been dunking plants in it. I took all my house plants out and I sprayed them down with it, just like, you got to get biology back on the plants. It's not like that's the end of the game, and you should just do that forever, because that you'll live in deficiency. But as a solution to kill everything, eggs, viruses, bacteria, everything, just knock it all the fuck out and start it fresh. It's a pretty awesome, cheap solution.
Yeah. And it actually works for a lot of the viruses, whereas alcohol does not. So, unfortunately,
that is cool. I did not know that. I don't know what I'm going to do with all my with my 5 gallon of alcohol I have out there, but I have to do something with it.
It's still good for cleaning. Just don't use it for the pruning.
Get yourself one of these, and then you'll just fucking burn that shit up in a
jiffy, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, if you are using one of those, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to hit the mic there. If you are using one of those, it is great to just have a little tub of ISO, and then as soon as you're done hitting it, just toss it in there. It works so much better.
Look at this thing. The banger baskets.
That's brilliant.
There you go.
Yeah. But I'm going to actually bounce out, guys. long day tomorrow. I had a long night last night. So,
Awesome, man.
but good talking to y'all.
Yeah. Thanks for
Have
coming.
a good night, Wes. Good morning. Have a good morning, Potent.
Yeah, it is Friday here already, so I am in the future.
And I'm a day late.
And about to do it. Fuck. Peace, guys.
Yeah, it is nice that it's only 12 hours difference instead of it being
Yeah,
9
that works
PM.
out well. That works out well. That's way
9
way
a.m. is
easier than Zimbabwe was.
yeah, way easier than 4 a.m. That
Yeah.
sucked.
Yeah, you were like a zombie when you were doing the show over there, man.
Yeah, and then we realized we just switched it to Sundays at noon for a little while because that was way more sane for me.
Yeah,
But it's all right. We'll be able to do shows here pretty much on the normal time, maybe slightly off an hour or two or whatever. But I have time to go out, check the grow for 2 or 3 hours before we do the show. So gives me plenty of time to get everything organized, and whoever needs to have questions answered on the grow side can know what to do, and then we can have a show and then go back to work. So it works out just fine. Anything else new with you, Wes?
well, no, just got to take a bunch of clones. My mothers are getting big, so I'm gonna flower them out. But nothing really special. Just yeah, I'm gonna be. I should probably pop some more seeds here probably soon. But yeah, no, nothing outstanding on the horizon.
Somebody in chat asked, needs to soak and bleach for a certain amount of time. Yeah, usually what we do is what I like to do is have 3 or 4 different pruners and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to take me between 2 to 7 minutes, 8 minutes per plant to prune it up, depending on what I'm doing and how much I'm pruning it. So that gives me every 15 to 30 minutes between pruners use. So it gives plenty of time for me to naturally have that soak time, be adequate without having to worry about sitting there and wasting time or waiting on my pruners or anything like that. And then also you're not wearing your blades down as fast too. You're only each blade's going down a quarter as fast, which means that you don't have to buy pruners as often. Which they still last the same amount of time. But at the end of the day, it's less pain in the ass to have to sharpen everything quite so often.
That's true.
Let me see. Well, it's all the chat questions. Anything else you wanted to mention before we wrap up the show? Yeah, this nice
Well, just
triple
check us out on Dad's Smoke Show.
with
That is-
ash.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I got some nice bangers for this that are like all corkscrew and look all fancy. It's pretty dope actually. And this I was like $40, something like that.
Nice. That's nice. That's got to be awesome. The exchange rate and the cost of living over there.
Yeah, it's 38 to 1. So I went and got a 2-hour massage the other day and it was like $9. It was great.
Holy cow.
Gonna have to get one of those like twice a week for that kind of price.
It's supporting local economy, man. That's what you got to
Right?
do. It's
Right.
being a good person.
It's quite nice.
That's
Get
awesome.
chill and get your back cracked and get walked on and then nail your knots out. They're like chiropractors with their feet. It's kind of incredible. I've never had it happen before. That's pretty good.
Nice.
All right. Well, I think we'll wrap up the show. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll have. Oh, wait! I have more videos. I forgot because we were doing other shit. Here's the other 2. Sorry, it takes a while. The internet here is good, but it's slow. So, I'm working on that. So here's the next video. Oh wait, I did the wrong button. Hold on. Yeah, okay, the audio's on. Here we go. So we got the control panel here. This controls the different fans.
Yeah.
This controls the different panels for the shade. And this is the main power for the exhaust fans and the rest. And you can see again the white plastic cinder blocks raised up off the ground. Keeps everything nice and clean. Keeps it a little cooler than the black. And yeah. This will be our main flowering chambers.
Yeah.
So fun. And you can see we got irrigation lines. They come from here. They run over. There's a big water tank right behind us here that we can mix up everything in ahead of time. And then right over, you can see where that little shed is. There's a big pond, big giant pond. That's where the fish are. So we'll be using, you know, a lot of aquaponic water for this growing in soil, which makes a little more sense than the scale. And then all of this behind here will all be greenhouses in the next couple months as well. So it gives you an idea of kind of the layout of how this is going to work long term. And then you can see here, they're just putting the plastic down. We had that black down before. We got that replaced with the white, again, for keeping things a little cleaner. And also just keeping the temperature cooler. It's going to cut the temperature in here 4 to 5 degrees Fahrenheit by having that cooler temperature. So, yeah. And then we'll put our nice pots, living soil pots on top of here. And away we go. We're also thinking about maybe doing some beds as well. So we'll see how that goes. You know, probably do a row of each and see how that goes in comparison. So, all right, guys. We'll be back again with another video. All right, so we got the control panel here. This control. So this is where they take the soil from the past runs, they put it on the plastic, and they put plastic over it and they cook it so that if there's any bug eggs or anything or any problems, it gets, you know, fixed, and then we'll re-inoculate after that. And this building over here, they're currently building the inside, but there'll be 3 floors. And we'll have different rooms for drying and for growing and for lab work and all kinds of other stuff. We'll have a HPLC, and we can test it. We're gonna get DNA testers. We can do male-female testing and a whole bunch of other fun stuff. It's gonna be super cool. But right now they're doing blowtorching and stuff in there and building the floors. So we'll get a video from them soon. So this. There we go. Sorry about that. There we go. All right.
That flower room's gonna be something when it's full.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm trying to think of anything else. We got all that together. Yeah. Just working on all that different stuff.
So does like, what does the good cannabis go for over there, or is that going to be for export? Is that
the highest I've seen in a store? Let me grab a calculator and I can tell you what the US would be. I know what it was in bot, but I don't. Still mentally getting used to the conversion. The highest I've seen someone try to sell weed for here is $26 a gram.
Oh, okay. So there's a bigger upper end market. Okay, cool.
Yeah, most of the better stuff I've seen it about 20 a gram.
Really?
For the better stuff. And then obviously I can buy like a kilo of garbage or lower quality stuff for like $530 US. So
I'm curious as to what you'd wash off of that when you made bubble hash.
I'm very curious as well. I might have to do some research.
In the name of science, yes, I agree.
In the name of science, yes. Oh, see if I can switch it in time. There's a hawk right outside the window. There you go. You can see him on the left there. Right here.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many cool birds. There's cranes and storks and spoonbills and like hawks. There's like I've seen at least 4 different hawks here, and like just all kinds of different stuff. There's kites that eat the snails in the fields, and there's just so many different things here. It's just all the time I'm seeing new things in the yard.
I bet. I bet.
It's very biodiverse. You know, normally in farmland it's not biodiverse. Right here it's like crazy. All kinds of frogs and it's nuts.
That's cool. That's cool. How much? So are those rice fields holding water right now, or are
Yeah,
they
all
they
of that is
they
like
dried up?
at least a foot or more water,
Okay.
and that dries out in the dry season.
Yeah.
So normally that would be drying back. Like in a normal year, it would have stopped raining 3 weeks ago, and this would be drying down. It would have shallower water, and then it would dry out almost enough when they harvest. But this year, it's deep, so they're gonna have to use the taller tractor wheels, and
Crazy.
I'll get some pictures and stuff of that. But hopefully, you guys have had a cool chance to see some of the stuff we're doing. I'll get set up. I'll do like a test run. I haven't tried to do a stream from back there. The Wi-Fi doesn't work in the grow, but I think I can make it work through my Thai phone and connect on Zoom. I just have to try. Hopefully we'll get that working. But yeah. Thanks everybody for watching. How do people find you there, Wes?
You can always find me over at That Smoke Show on YouTube and also on Instagram. The two best places to find me. And what about yourself? Where's the best places for people to get a hold of you, Potent?
I got too many things on my desk here. I was just pulling up the link for that. You can find us on Wednesdays on Dat Smoke Show. We have a whole separate YouTube channel. We have all kinds of cool guests on there. We had Brandon Rust on, Josh, myself. Who else did we have on last night? We had all kinds of great people on. I'm forgetting some people. I feel bad. Tommy Trichomes was on.
Yeah. American One shows up now and then.
He's on as well.
With
Zenthanol's on sometimes. We had Scotty.
Chad Westport. Let's not forget Chad. Chad's been there a lot too. Yeah.
Chad Westport, Hota Herb, myself. Who else? Lots of people. A different group of people each week, so it's fun. Monkey.
Monkey Do. Oh yeah, Monkey Do's been there. Been there a bunch.
So yeah, you never know who's gonna be on. It's always good times. So come hang out. It's a different kind of show, a little bit looser format than this show. We goof around a lot, talk about a bunch of random stuff, get a little more animated and heated about stuff than we do on the show. It shows a little more science focused. It tries to be at least. So definitely check it out. And you can find this both shows on SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, all the things on Dat Smoke Show. And in this show, Growing with Fishes, on your favorite podcast app. You can also check out, I've been putting a bunch of time into the website over at Ponics. You can find access to all the classes on there. We'll also be releasing later this month or beginning of November. We'll start releasing it this month, but it won't be completed released until sometime around Black Friday. The new mineral and microbe class. We'll be doing a whole bunch of video content here in Thailand with AIMO and terrestrial IMO applications with both aquaponic and terrestrial plants, and kind of going over in-depth video courses as well on that type of thing. So check that out, as well as all the minerals and that you need to add to an aquaponic system, dosing guides, and much more in there. So that'll be a great course. It'll supplement, I think, a lot of what other people have learned from aquaponics and help them really kind of get to the next level. So I'm super stoked on that. And we also have the Pest class and the aquaponic cannabis class as well, already available, APMJ class and the pestclass.com. Alrighty, guys, thanks a lot for watching, and we will see